Morning guys, Morning here. Today I want to talk about my AP Whirlwind Grendel guide. A very balanced all-rounder. I have played over like the last couple of days and have min-maxed to a fairly high point right now. And yeah, I just want to talk about it a bit and explain what I have done and how you can follow this character. So let's start with the weapon here. I'm still using Scythe. We just swapped over to the Epitaph because it has the ability Arcane Harvest, which is very nice to just gain AP, because we don't really do much with our attacks, we don't do a lot of damage, so we just want to use the weapon ability to gain more AP. With this weapon ability we can get a 30% boost to our ability damage, which is just a lot, as you can see in a moment. So yeah, the character very well works with ability powers, and by that let's take a look at the abilities themselves. We are running Tremor, Whirlwind, Mighty Leap and Berserker's Frenzy. Tremor and Mighty Leap here mostly are for traversal and breaking enemies. Berserker's Frenzy isn't really much of a skill anyways. It is the ultimate, but it pretty much just does some damage and increases our ability power and break power. And that's pretty much it. So it's not all that great of an ability, but it's rarely up anyway, so we don't care about it. Our skill we mostly use is Whirlwind, which is the bread and butter of the build, and yeah, that one will carry us through the entire game pretty much. So let's take a look at this playstyle. What you want to do is you jump into an enemy group, you use your spells, you break enemies that are a little bit tougher, use your weapon on bigger enemies to get up your weapon skill, and then you just spin to win and kill the enemies. For bosses, you want to go with a little bit more precise combo, where you don't want to use spells in the beginning if you cannot just one-shot the boss with a specific combo. If you are fighting against a tougher enemy, you want to get up your combo meter to about 180%, prepare your echoes, know when to use them, or when to proc them. Then you want to activate your weapon ability. Oh, we have a slight lag here. So that you get the bonus damage from the Epitaph. And then you want to proc all your rush echoes, break the enemy with Tremor and a double mighty jump, and then finish with the spin to win with all your buffs up. And that will deal like enormous damage there. For the armor set, we just focus on AP and crit. Just take everything that gives AP or crit, and always the highest value you have available. For the accessories, the very endgame set I am aiming for, where I only missed the 38 primordial myth piece, is the myth of the primalist set. This one is farmable at the 38 dungeons and mostly at Slifer, which is like a very long farm. I have done hundreds of runs and do not have all the pieces. But for the other accessories that I have shown in the shop a few seconds ago, we have the mutated solar soul set, the hollow heart set and the Evenos caretaker sets, which drop from from the Bloodworks with solar imbuements, from the Hollow Heart boss, or from any dungeons where you are running Flora imbuements. Other than that, just use ability power, accessories or health, and ability power or crit until you reach a point where you can farm for specific sets. Other than that, English skills are high today. Let's take a look at the echoes. For the attack echoes, you pretty much just want high ability power and crit rating as second stat. So pretty much focus on that. On the left side I have made a list of like the most important ones. There might be ones that I am missing still that are not in the list, but this should be pretty much the list of the most important ones. Then we have the balance echoes, which pretty much follow the same rules. We go for ability power and crit rating, though we do have some magical defense and health in there. Though for the magical defense you sometimes don't really want it purely because some enemies just do a lot of physical, so there you would want to swap away the magical defense. But this setup I am running right now has like 7 to 8k magical defense, and we can tank pretty much any magical damage. It's just negligible. Really very, very tanky against magical. Then for the defense and cross, we just want ability, power, and crit, and max health, and defenses again. For the defenses, I just want to have some physical defense, some magical defense. You just need to check what you need right now. Sometimes you want to swap, sometimes it's whatever. For most enemies, if you don't play on heroic, you shouldn't need to swap anyways. Then let's take a look at Rush Echoes, because here you actually do have quite some choice. I currently am running Dread Legion, Marrow, Precursor, and Greedlord, of which I'd say only the Precursor and the Greedlord are must-haves. Like, these are so strong that you just cannot not use them. Because the Precursor, as soon as you reach the combo meter of 200%, your hits will deal an additional 100% ability power as damage, and this does count for the Whirlwind, so your Whirlwind effectively deals double damage, which is just too strong not to use. The Greedlord summons this, as you can see right now, huge fire AoE that is just too good for clear and also deals a ton of single target damage. Then Marrow I just like for the crit, because I mostly am dealing damage to enemies when they are like broken, and this just triggers when I want to deal damage and increase my crit, so it's pretty nice, though the effect is not as strong as some others. Like Dread Legion is very good as well, but you need to be careful with your spells, because if you like start a fight with a heavy jump and then you just trigger your Dread Legion and don't really damage the enemy, you just waste that slot. So if you are impatient and just want to fight, you should probably not run Dread Legion, because like it won't give a whole lot of value to you. Other options that are okayish and definitely usable are Talon of Pyre, Blood Rage of Vul, and Astral Xavier, though all of those need specific triggers that you have to care about in the fight that I don't like to use, or just have animations I don't like, or have different conditions where, for example, Talon of Pyre, the chance is fairly high that the enemies just walk out of the damage zone and stuff like that. So there's some problems with those, but all of those are still very great. Especially Zephyr is extremely good in clearing. Like if you're farming arena or something, Zephyr pretty much is a must-have. That's just, it clears an entire wave in an instant, and yeah, there's just some very good ones. So yeah, last but not least, the Affinities. There we go, 25 Discipline, 5 Instinct, 11 Focus, though this might change a little bit depending on the accessories you are using and in what order you are gaining them. Because like there you just have to see what is the like how do they synergize with your current accessory equipment. So yeah, though the perks of Anger Surge, Spellbound Power, Battleborn Infusion, and Battleborn Dominance are the most important ones, and those just are very good. Though Battleborn Infusion, you don't really use a lot of melee finishers, because especially on the Scythe or overall heavy attacks, I personally am a big fan of the overhead attacks, which alternate between light attack and heavy attack, and those never result in a finisher, so we don't really gain resource from that. But it's just on the way in the discipline tree to gain the Battleborn Dominance, and that one is just very good. So yeah, overall this pretty much is it. We're just taking a look at the talent tree in a second, but I want to wait for the arena here to conclude. In the meantime, we can talk about the affinities a little more, because as I said, here you really have to check what your accessories do, because sometimes it might be better to not go for specific perks if your set, for example, has ability power 3 times on instinct, you should probably take 25 points in Instinct. Just ignore that you have like one less perk or something, or one less useful perk, because sometimes the damage increase there is just better. So yeah, this pretty much concludes the arena event as you have seen. So let's get into the last part of the guide, the talents. Why isn't there music? No, you can't play music here. Okay, so we just wait. Let's take a look at Rallying Cry. We are on the tree I currently am using. I'm going up here to Rallying Cry. No, here's Rallying Cry. Each time you're using a Wayfinder ability, you're healing. This one is very, very good. We're gaining a balance slot above it, which just is nice because we can put more echoes in, though at the beginning you might not have enough echoes to use this well. Then there is the Presence of Mind. Every time you attack, you build up stacks. When using an ability, you gain bonus ability power. This one is synergizing extremely well with the Dread Legion, because you just get your 10 stacks, then you use a spell and gain 60% spell damage. It's just so much. Then you want to go for Ways of War. It just makes abilities charge faster, and finish it with a Vengeance slot, which gives an attack echo slot. Another version of this tree would be to go down here, pick up Rallying, pick up Fortifying Aura and Immovable. These two, those just are just a bit more, not tanky version, but like Immovable makes you immune to interruptions, which can be nice in some fights. However, Fortifying Aura currently seems bugged, so I would not use it right now. Also, we rarely are using our ultimate anyways, so I don't see all that much value in Fortifying Aura. If you're going down here, it should be for the Immovable, not for the Fortifying Aura. Then the rest of the tree more or less is similar. You're picking up Rallying Cry because it's just too good. The sustain is so strong. You pick up Heroism and you pick up Presence of Mind. You don't have the slots for this part, but overall this is a very good alternative. So I say thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, drop them down in the comments, and I will try to answer everything needed. So thanks for watching, and see you the next time.